bleeding to death. Just give me help. Well, there's a SWAT team there. Didn't send the ambulance because you don't send an ambulance when gods have just killed somebody. And now all over the country, they're announcing they're going to do no knocks for everything. You've got an unpaid parking tickets, and they're actually advertising this. Here in Austin, they have announcements, taxpayer-paid-for ads that go, round up. In fact, I always mean to try to find one of those. I hear it on KLBJ and other stations. Round up this weekend, your last chance. Sounds like it's a monster truck advertiser. This week at the Coliseum, the monster truck extravaganza. Be there, the grave digger, the master, dinosaur crusher. Well, it sounds like the same guy that does the monster truck ads. This weekend, the roundup begins. If you haven't paid your ticket, the warrant's coming. We're coming to your house. Pay it now. Call this city number or go online to pay. Openly trying to scare people. Now it's 11% of Texas has arrest warrants out. Oh, that's a free society. They can't pay. They're bankrupt. Cops everywhere writing tickets, squeezing everyone, illegal aliens above the law, racing around. But my point is, they call it roundup. They have these ads all over the country. So people get used to hearing about real roundups of political dissidents. When it happens, it's an acclamation. That's an Army psych warfare program. Before the Panama invasion, for months, they flew helicopters around, did touch and goes, would drop flashbangs, just so the Panamanian military, when the real attack happened, would hesitate just a minute or two while the C-130s blasted them with their Vulcan guns, their Gatling guns, and their howitzers. And they hesitated just a few minutes, and bye-bye. You thought it was another drill. So this is all psych warfare. Police chiefs are on record admitting they wear the mask. They do it to intimidate. And the message is, you don't pay parking tickets, we're going to kick your door down and just randomly spray bullets into a few people here and there. And that's why they support the officers when they do it. The cops aren't psychological warfare people. They don't know why they're being allowed to do this. They're all given a false template. We've all seen the video of them go in the house. They shoot the little dog. The people are crying, why'd you kill my dog? And you watch the video of the cops getting off on the pain and the children crying. I mean, I've played these videos on air, and it's demonic. There's a satanic feasting on the psychic vampire level. Very wicked, very evil. I'm not saying every SWAT team in history was evil. Everybody was, that does this is bad. But more and more, you see the sadomasochistic, demonic, psychic feasting going on. Remember, SWAT teams were set up in the late 60s, admittedly, by Gates in Los Angeles as special weapons attack teams, not special weapons and tactics. That's the politically correct name. The CIA helped set it up. They're a hostage, rapid reaction force. Before, they just had guys that had a lot of testosterone and didn't even need a helmet. They put on some body armor, strap it on, go in and, take out the hostages. But now they wait 2 or 3 hours and creep around and at Columbine or every other shooting and then don't help anybody. I've talked to so many old retired cops. In fact, one of them owns a car repair place here in town. Got to know him years ago, became an advertiser locally. And he was just talking about when he was a detective, they didn't need all the gear. They just had testosterone. But the point is, this is all about, these are death squads now. That's what they're being phased into. That's what they're being turned into. And it's a tool of intimidation. So they're saying now, we're going to go ahead and just make every warrant service a no-knock. And so you thought you paid off a ticket. I've had it before where I did pay off a ticket and had to call up courthouses. It's happened a couple times when it's a out-of-county thing, and say, you got that check. I've got that cleared check. I paid it. They go, well, there was a $10 fee we forgot to assess, so it's not good. We sent you a letter. And I'm like, well, I moved. I must not have gotten it. Let me pay the other $10 fee. Well, now for the $10 fee, and there's basically going to convert, in fact, they are larger and larger brigades of these people at the state level to just come, kick down the door, and if you always read about the old insurance salesman retired, gets up, wrong house, they kill him. 92-year-old woman, they kill her. This Marine, they kill him. But see, that gives them a propaganda problem because they teach you to worship the Marines, but now one god has killed another god.
He looks 5 years younger.
He doesn't fall asleep at his desk like he used to.
He no longer drinks those energy drinks all day.
He used to be gloomy. Now he's upbeat.
He obviously has lost weight.
He's now drinking Moringa in the morning from BigJoe.us. Moringa is a delicious, all-organic, 100% bioavailable blend from the miracle moringa tree, considered by many to be the most nutrient-rich plant ever discovered. Moringa in the morning will suppress cravings for junk food and energy drinks and make you feel like a kid again. Drink Moringa in the morning, available from BigJoe.us. That's BIGJOE.us. Vibrant Health is just a click or call away at BigJoe.us or 800-503-0515. 800-503-0515. That's 800-503-0515. Drink Moringa in the morning.
Iodine protection packs from hempusa.org are now in stock for immediate delivery worldwide. Our iodine protection packs include microplant powder, green life kelp, red palm oil, and our clear roll-on iodine that will feed the body the iodine it needs. All iodine protection packs are in stock, save you money, and ship for free in all 50 states. Visit hempusa.org or call 908-691-2608 today.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit, then carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Hi, Ted Anderson. I'm placing a silver dollar in a book explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
Alex Jones here with key information. The U.S. government is a Ponzi scheme that relies on the Treasury continuously selling large amounts of government bonds to foreign central banks, with Japan about to become a seller of U.S. bonds in order to rebuild its own nation, and the U.S. antagonizing China by calling them currency manipulators. The Federal Reserve, which is already buying about 70% of U.S. Treasuries, will soon be the only buyer left of U.S. Treasuries. Our friends at the National Inflation Association believe that the U.S. dollar will soon become worthless, and Americans will see the purchasing power of their incomes and savings destroyed. I strongly urge my fellow Americans to sign up for the free NIA newsletter at www.inflation.us. If you are sick and tired of the economic propaganda in the mainstream media, sign up for free at inflation.us to learn the economic truth that the mainstream media ignores.
Food prices are spiraling out of control. In order to survive, you will soon need to produce some or all of your own food in your backyard or small farm. Many years ago, sought-after radio guest Marjorie Wildcraft and her family began working to find the easiest ways to grow food for the crisis we are now facing. Marjorie created a video that is the fastest way to learn how to grow food. You'll learn the most efficient gardening methods, myths and truths of orchards and edible landscaping, effective predator protection, and even home butchering. Everyone is talking about Marjorie's DVD, and it's highly recommended by Jim Rawls, Jack Sparrow, and Bountiful Gardens. Read her free reports on how to have a green thumb, making free fertilizer, and answers the question, do you need a gun to garden? If you want the security, savings, and freedom of food self-reliance, buy Marjorie's DVD and get the free reports at backyardfoodproduction.com. Again, that's backyardfoodproduction.com.
By any historical yardstick, we are turning into a hardcore police state with an offshore private banking cartel openly robbing us and incrementally turning our police into federalized, merciless goons. And in the process, the police are destroying their own future. But I don't even blame the police at the end of the day. It is the American people that have sat idly by and put up with this that have allowed this to happen. Now, I started ranting about how they killed this poor Marine. Again, they saw men looking in the windows. The children got scared. This all happened in a matter of 30 seconds. They busted down the door. He reportedly didn't get a shot off. And they just totally shot him full of holes. And their argument is, well, we got to protect ourselves. We're trying to stop narcotics. Well, turns out no drugs found in the house. And the reports were first it was the wrong house, but which they do all the time. You see it constantly in the press. But now they're saying, well, no, it was the right house. Kind of like the cops when they put that guy in handcuffs out in Oakland on the train deck, the platform, and then shot him in the back, and then told everybody that he'd fought them and wasn't in handcuffs after they confiscated 3 cameras. Turned out somebody was in a train that was stopped and filmed the whole thing. And somebody else filmed it from about 50 yards away, and he was in handcuffs, and they just shot him in the back, execution style. You watch the video, it doesn't look like it was an accident. He stretches the gun out, shoots him right in the back. Goes through his back, bounces back up into his heart, and it was suspects of a fight on the train. Turns out it wasn't even the right guy. It's like that case in New York of somebody punched a cop at a nightclub. They set up a checkpoint outside, searched everybody. Turned out he was the wrong guy. And the cops took him to a facility and helped beat him for 8 hours off and on. And finally, some good cops blew the whistle and said that their commander sodomized him with a broken toilet plunger continually for 2 hours. That shows total psychopathic behavior. I mean, 2 hours? And then blood was pouring out? I mean, how do you do? I mean, what type of demon? Even if you were psychopathic, wouldn't it get boring after 30 seconds? I mean, hours of sodomizing someone with a broken plunger? I mean, who are they hiring? The Bill of Rights and Constitution is supposed to protect us from crooks getting into government, boss hogs getting in, and then hiring thugs under them. To where if boss hog tries to do that, boss hog gets in trouble. Your county gets out of control, you go to the state. You go to the Texas Rangers. They come and deal with it. They don't deal with it, you vote in new reps. Same thing with the feds. But we can't do that anymore. And there's all these TV shows just worshiping what they're doing. I mean, I don't want to get into any more horrible stories of what the police are doing or how many cases of cops sitting outside topless bars pulling over the drunk dancers and demanding sex from them. I mean, there's a big percentage of people that want to be criminals, and they're smart enough to go become police officers. And this is the historical problem. Everybody knows that about Mexico and other third world countries. And Paul Watson was in Tibet and trying to take some photos just of a mountain gorge and cops, local cops. It wasn't even the professional, from his experiences quite a few times in China, the national police. It was the local cops came over and demanded a bunch of money for him to take photos. And then he saw them doing it to other tourists. This is what happens in Mexico. I mean, everybody knows in third world countries the cops are horrible. And I remember going to third world countries with my parents who were well-traveled, and I'm somewhat well-traveled because of them. And I remember seeing the cops looking goonish just as a child and thinking they look scary. But seeing cops in America, and they were usually, you know, tough guys, but, you know, hi, how you doing? You felt good as a child seeing them. But I remember being in third world countries, and they were on power trips. They had that evil look of abusing people, and folks were scared of them. And I remember being a child and being creeped out by them. And I remember once being pulled over and the Mexican police demanding some money and how slimy they were with, you know, gold teeth and big mustaches and money, give me money. Well, now I see cops, a lot of them, and that's what they're like. I mean, I won't go down to 6th Street at night because they have special units, I guess, who enjoy it, who are like these shaved heads with devil tattoos all over them and black gloves, just looking at you trying to, and it's like flashbacks to college of like bouncers showing off, trying to start fights with people for no reason. And I'm like, what? I mean, you see some guy with big black circles around his eyes and a shaved head and black gloves, and he sees good-looking girls walking by, and he comes over and demands their ID and looks at it and then asks them questions. I mean, it's just, it's living in a third world country. I don't like it. I mean, you can just look at somebody, if you've got any discernment, generally, and you know, tell that's a nice person, they have a good vibe. And you still see cops changing tires on, and it always looks the same. It's some middle-aged guy, doesn't look like, doesn't have a crazed look in his eyes. You know, you don't get a bad feeling. More and more, it's scary, folks. Look, I got big news coming up. We'll be right back.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network. When you're out on the road, the last place you want to be is on the road.